Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 28, and today we're returning with a brand new season with Hull City as our 5th year at the kickoff stadium gets underway. Today we'll see the first game of the season at home to Spurs, a look at how pre-season went, and of course, the transfer special. Settle in, this will probably take a while. So of course we are going to start with the transfers moving into our 5th season with our Tigers, and it's been a very interesting window. I'm sure you guys are going to be pretty unhappy with a couple of things that have happened, but we'll just get straight to it and we'll start with the sales anyway. Now to begin with, there are a couple of players that have retired come the end of the season. Radamel Falcao has retired. Of course, you watched the last episode, you knew that was forthcoming, and Jonathan Walters decided to retire as well, which is a shame. He'll stay with the coaching staff as our under-23s manager, but now I can't utilise him for the tutoring anymore, so I was a bit more upset that Walters retired than Falcao, to be honest. They both retired, and that's fair enough. Sam Byram left the club for a minute to Norwich. You guys knew that was happening anyway, as we agreed that mid-season. Tom Heaton has gone to Ewood Park and joined Blackburn for 725 grand as well, and also there's been some loans as well. Nick Wesley has gone to Grimsby, our young centre-back, and Park Young-Yu is back at Adams Park for a full season's loan as he's joined Wickham once again. Thomas Vermaelen was given a free transfer. He had 1 year left in his deal, but he agreed a mutual termination just because he's not really that great anymore, and on 50 grand a week wasn't getting used, and I was fine letting him go. And there's been a couple of notable sales as well as a few free transfers too. Snodgrass was let go on a free as well, as his contract was upcoming at the end of the year. And as you can see, the main sales to report are these two right here. Andrew Robertson has gone to Watford and joined up at Vicarage Road for £4 million. His contract was upcoming at the end of this season. He wouldn't sign a new one, so I thought we may as well get what we can for him, even though we did sort of undersell him a little bit, but at least we got something for him as opposed to letting him go for free. And also the big sale, which I know you guys won't be happy about, is this one right here. Abel Hernandez has joined Wolves for £5.5 million. Now, before you guys start saying, oh my god, in the last episode you said you'd keep him, what the hell, man? Well, basically Wolves put a bid in of 5.5 million, and I thought this is the best we're going to get for him because his valuation was lower than 3.6 million at the time. I think it was 1.1 million. He was on 45 grand a week. He only had 1 year left in his contract. I didn't know what to do, so I threw it out to you guys on Twitter, and this is why you should follow me on Twitter if you want to get involved in the sale at times, because I threw it out to you guys on Twitter. I said, what should we do? Sell Hernandez or keep him? I'll let you guys make the call, and just over 500 you voted. Thank you very much for that, but you decided that we should sell him and not keep him. I would have been totally happy keeping Hernandez here. We had an optional contract extension of 1 year in his deal, so could have extended it for an extra year if I wanted to, but I let you guys make the decision. You said sell, so if you're unhappy about it, don't take it up with me, take it up with my Twitter followers, okay? They made the decision, not me. So Hernandez has gone to Wolves. Maybe we'll see him again, but for the time being, he's off to Molineux, and I'm pretty confident he's going to tear things up there and send Wolves to the Premier League. Okay, so that's the departures out of the way, and now let's move on to the signings. And I must say, it's been a really bizarre transfer window, really, where, well, let's just get straight to it, and you guys can make of this what you think. But let's move on to the first signing, and it's Baba, who's arrived on loan from Chelsea for the season, and we're only paying a percentage of his wages. Now, of course, with Robertson going, we're going to need a backup left back, so I've signed Baba Rahman, and he's a decent left back. He's only 26 years old, but will be turning 27 in a couple of weeks' time. He's only on 22.5 grand a week here as well, because we're only paying, I think it's 30% of his wages, which is good, and that's great because he's on a really expensive salary for Chelsea right now, 75 grand a week at Stamford Bridge. So Baba's on loan for the season. I would have rather have kept Robertson here, to be honest with you, and not bothered by bringing this guy in on loan. But I thought to myself, we are going to need a backup left back now, so we may as well get what we can and try and make it the best deal and value for money. So Baba comes in. He's got some decent stats, 15 crossing, 16 for tackling as well. Marking is 13. Positioning a little bit low at 12, but work rate is 17. That's really good. Determination 15 as well, and natural fitness 17, and stamina 15, acceleration 15, pace 15 as well. So not a bad little attacking fullback there. And on loan for the season, second signing, and it's a freebie. Alexander Mitrovic has signed for Hull City. The former Newcastle United striker has come in on a free transfer after his contract expires. And when Hernandez was here, he was on 45 grand a week, and as a backup striker, that's quite a lot to pay. Mitrovic has taken a massive pay cut to come and join join us here at the kickoff Stadium, and he's on 10 grand a week on a 4-year deal. So we're certainly making some savings in the wage budget because of that deal there. And I must say, what a fantastic steal this is. Now, I must say, he's not the best. He's got 12 for finishing, which is uncharacteristically low for one of my strikers, but 16 for heading, 12 for passing, which isn't that bad for a target man support, 14 off the ball. Again, not the best. His mentals aren't that bad, and physically he's got 17 strength and 17 for jumping as well, 16 balance, that's not bad, and he's 6'2". So it's a really cheap signing, this one here, Mitrovic. And to be honest, when I saw how low the contract was that I could offer, I was just so surprised, man. I probably could have got even cheaper as well. 10 grand a week for Mitrovic. That's absolutely nothing. Valued at £9.25 million. So I gotta say, I'm delighted with this signing right here, because I don't think he's gonna score that many goals for us. I really, really don't. But on a free transfer, again, 10 grand a week. That's literally nothing. So I'm very happy with how much he was willing to give up to come and join us here. And Mitrovic is in 10 grand a week. I mean, that is literally nothing, right? But anyway, moving on, third signing, and it's another loan signing. It's Hisham Moumni, who has arrived on loan from Benfica for this season. He's on 11.5 grand a week this year, and this is a 19-year-old Dutch new-gen/regen striker who I must say I'm very, very excited about. Now, he's arrived on loan for the year. He's already been capped 6 times by his country and scored 2 goals as well. He's got 17 for finishing, dribbling 15 as well, first touch 13, not bad, and off the ball 15 too. Physically, this guy is absolutely fantastic. 15 acceleration, 14 pace, 17 balance, 16 natural fitness, 16 strength as well. He's 6'1". He's described as a wonder kid by the media, so another one joins us here at Hull. He is only here for the year on loan, but at least we can take a look at the guy, and possibly next season, if we like him, we might consider putting in a proper transfer bid for him. He comes from Benfica, and he's a very decent young striker, and I don't think we'll be able to sign a guy permanently because they do rate him very highly. When I tried to inquire, I think they wanted something like 45 million or something like that, so he's probably not going to come back permanently, but just for the year, I'm sure he'll give us some solid minutes from the bench. So yeah, Moumni is in some very decent stats there. I love that high finishing and love that high off the ball as well, and again, he looks like a great striker. He came from Ajax originally, but he played for Benfica last year, half the season, 12 goals in 16 games, so yeah, the future is very bright for this young man, and I think he's going to give us some solid minutes from the bench this season. So Moumni is in, and yeah, keep your eye on this guy. He could be one for the future. Maybe not for Hull, but still one for the future. Fourth signing, and it's another free transfer, and we've done the annual sign a veteran and hope they're still good enough for Hull City. James Milner has arrived on a free, and I'm very, very happy with this deal. Now, he is on 30 grand a week on a 2-year contract, which is quite expensive for a 34-year-old that will be turning 35 during the season, but he's still got some really, really great stats, and mentally is where the ex-Liverpool, City, Aston Villa and Newcastle midfielder is at. When you look at these stats right here, technically, as you can see, he's not the best anymore. Physically, certainly not. Does have 18 for natural fitness, which is quite good for a 34-year-old, but mentally this guy looks absolutely fantastic, man. He's got some really, really great stats: 17 determination, 18 work rate, 17 for teamwork as well, 15 for leadership. We need veteran leaders in this Hull City team, you know, we really, really do, because in FM it's all well and good signing all those wonder kids, but you need some old players as well to guide you through with their experience. So Milner is in, and I think Milner's a really, really underrated player, man. Seriously, he gives so much effort, and I love those sort of players, and hopefully he'll do it for Hull as well. Fourth signing, and we've got a job lot of these central midfielders. Brian Milonaz is back on a permanent deal. Of course, you saw this guy last season on loan, who didn't play that many games for us. He had one serious injury to deal with, but other than that, in the games he played, wasn't really that convincing. But I decided to bring him back because we had a £7 million future fee arranged with Toronto FC at the end of the season, and I thought to myself, even if this guy doesn't succeed here, even if this guy doesn't become a first-team regular, he's going to be worth more than £7 million in the future. He's worth more than £7 million now. So I thought, in terms of a business acquisition, it just made sense to do it. So Milonaz comes back, and because of how many midfielders we've got, I don't predict this guy getting that much first-team football this season. But again, he's worth more than £7 million. So we can make a profit on the guy, or just gradually ease him into the team at some point. He's got some great stats though: 16 for first touch, 17 for passing, 17 technique, week. Vision 16 as well, 19 determination, 16 decisions. Physically very, very good as well. Of course, he's 6'5", lest we forget, Brian Malone has. And he's not the slowest. 14 for acceleration and 14 for pace as well. 16 jumping reach, 16 natural fitness, and 16 strength as well. His heading is laughably low for someone at 6'5", but he's still got some very good stats. And again, a Canadian midfielder, only 20 years old, though he will be 21 in a few weeks' time. And again, a very, very cheap transfer, just £7 million. And he's going to be worth more than that. And whilst last season he wasn't the best, only played 3 league games and wasn't that great in the games he did play, had one serious injury too, I'm still pretty convinced this guy is going to be worth more than £7 million in the future. We can make a decent profit on the guy or bleed him into the first team at some point. So Malone has his back, and I'm pretty pleased with that deal. Alright, so 2 more signings to show you guys, and I think we're going to start off with what was the best business acquisition of the summer. And probably the best signing of the summer, to be honest. And I think you guys are going to be very pleased with this one. Michael Keane is here at Hull City and has arrived from Everton for £11 million. Now, what a signing this is. You guys said in the episode, when we ended the season, in episode 26, you've got to rate Everton, man. Everton got relegated last season, and you said get to Goodison Park, sign some of those big names, and that's exactly what I did. I made this guy my #1 priority when Everton were relegated, and what a great decision as well. £11 million was his relegation release clause, and I think that's an absolute steal for the ex-Burnley and Manchester United centre-back. Now, admittedly, there are some stats here that are a little bit lower than I'd like. 14 marking, 14 tackling, and 14 positioning too, but his heading's 15. His top mentals are very good as well, with 15 bravery, 14 concentration, 17 determination, 14 anticipation, and physically is where this guy really excels. 16 for acceleration, pace, and strength. That's fantastic. So he's quick and strong. He's 6'1". He's got 15 for jumping as well. He looks like a really, really great centre-back, and some good traits too for the way we're trying to play here with Hull City. And again, when Everton were relegated last season, you guys commented, and I decided as well, we were going to have to sign some of their players, and I made this guy my #1 priority, and he has arrived for, again, £11 million, which is quite cheap for this guy. He's on 80 grand a week, quite expensive. It did take a pay cut to come here. It was on 100 grand a week for Everton, and I think this is going to be a really great acquisition. 25 caps for his country, 27 years old, and we leaked a lot of silly goals with Hull City last season, so I'm hoping that Keane's experience and general ability is going to help us tighten up this season and make us a much more formidable force at the back. So Keane is in, and again, I think this is a great signing. I really, really do. This guy is a fantastic centre-back. He really, really is. He's a big reason as to why Burnley survived so comfortably in real life last year, and I think this is a great signing, and I'm happy to sign a guy that's just signed for Everton in real life for a pretty cheap transfer fee, all things considered. Very great signing. Alright, so 7th and final signing to show you guys, and I've got to be honest here, this is probably the most underwhelming of the big reveals I've done in the series so far. Every single season I intentionally leave one transfer till the end, which I hope is going to stun you, hope is going to shock you. This one, probably the most underwhelming one. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that, should I? I should be hyping it up. What am I doing, man? Seriously, this is supposed to be my big transfer, and I'm saying, this is a pretty underwhelming signing. It's nothing to get excited about. But anyway, welcome to the club. Ross Barkley. Yes, Ross Barkley is in for £14 million, and the ex-Everton midfielder has signed with Hull City along with Michael Keane. I thought if I'm bringing Keane here, I might as well bring him as well. And these two are my main targets when Everton were relegated, and I'm so pleased we managed to get them both. Now, if I'm being honest, I'm a little bit annoyed I had to spend £14 million. It was a flat fee for the guy. I would have liked it to be a little bit lower. He's valued at £13 million. And with Everton's relegation, I was thinking we could probably get this guy for around £7 to £10 million. Quite cheap for him, really. But £14 million, it's a little bit pricey. Having said that, he's a really, really good player. He's been capped 30 times for his country. He's on a 4-year deal. He's on 60 grand a week, and he's got some excellent stats as well. Dribbling 16, first touch 16, passing 15, 16 technique, 16 vision as well. Decisions 12, a little bit low for an attacking midfielder, but physically very, very good. 14 for both acceleration and pace, and 18 for strength as well. You are not going to bully this guy off the ball. 6'2", and some decent traits as well. well. So yeah, Ross Barkley he's got some really nice stats, and Ozcan hasn't really developed that well in the attacking midfield role. So I thought we could do with someone now who's really, really good. And Barkley's far too good for the Championship with these sort of stats right here. So to bring him in for £14 million, I think is a pretty decent signing, even though it's a little bit pricier than I originally would have liked. But he's in regardless. And again, it's not really like a massive signing per se. I always like to do like one signing at the end, which is hopefully going to be like, oh, you guys are going to be like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. Well, to be honest, you probably did see Barkley coming. You wanted me to raid Everton. That's exactly what we've done. We signed their best two players, and again, for fees of £14 million and £11 million, £25 million for the pair, I think that's pretty good business in my opinion. So maybe not the biggest signing per se, but certainly once again a really good business acquisition. Welcome to the club, Ross. So, all things considered, this was quite an underwhelming transfer window, right, guys? But no, 7 players signed, £33 million spent, and it was a really, really odd window. You know, it really, really was, because there was nothing we did which was out of the ordinary. Everything you saw in this window was probably exactly what you expected. So, not many shocking deals to show you, but at least if nothing else, we've made some great business acquisitions, at least in my opinion, and some good decisions overall. £33 million spent, 2 loan signings, 2 freebies, and 3 players arriving for, again, a combined total of 30, is that £32 million? That should be 30, that's 32 million, isn't it? Let's just say 32 million. Maybe, unless my maths is horribly wrong. I don't know. But anyway, it says £33 million, so that's what it is. So yeah, a decent enough window in my opinion, and I'm pleased with what we've done. I'm pleased with what we've done, even if it's not that massive. Now, in terms of the team report, as you can see, there are still more negatives than positives, which is a little bit of a shame. But despite that being the case, I personally still do believe that this team has got better than last year and is making improvements. So yeah, I'm happy enough with what we've done over the window. I really, really am. Whether we regret selling Abel Hernandez, I don't know. Whether we regret not making one of those sort of like big headline signings, I don't know. But personally speaking, gradually improving the team is the best thing to do with Hull in terms of business sense, you know, value for money, and keeping the squad harmony good enough, I suppose, good enough. And it has gone up since the back end of last season. Now, in pre-season, this is what's been going on. We've won all of our games but one. We had some big wins in the pre-season and beat Porto in a cup semi-final I made before we lost to Monaco on penalties in the final. But every other game was a win. And in the competitions overview this season, we are supposed to reach the 5th round in the FA Cup again, reach the 4th round in the EFL Cup again. But in the Premier League, the lowest expectation I could ask the board for was top half. So top half has to be achieved this season for me to stay in the job. Now, last season we finished in 10th. We did finish in the top half for the first time in the series, but can we do it again? Well, it's going to be very, very tough, and the board know now, because of the money we spent, they expect to see a good return. Top half of the table is the minimum expectation I could set, so that's what we've done, and hopefully we'll be able to deliver it once again. Now, in terms of our finances, our balance has come tumbling down like I predicted in the last episode. We're now down to £31 million. There's just under £5 million still left in our transfer budget right now, and loads of room in the wage budget too. So there's still time and still money for us available to make 1 or 2 more signings. Who we would bring in, I don't know. But either way, there's still time, there's still money left over for us to make 1 or 2 more signings if we'd like to do so before the summer transfer window slams shut. But to be honest, I'm happy with the side we got right now, and I like the direction we are heading in. I really, really do. It's looking good, in my opinion. It's looking really, really good. And again, whilst we have sold a couple of players, which I would have liked to have kept, to be honest, Robertson and Hernandez, I still do believe that we've made some good signings and got some good replacements, and I'm hopeful we can be set for a good, strong top half finish in the league once more. We've made progression every single season, so let's keep on doing it. So that's it, I do believe. Is that all I need to show you today? I think it is. So let's just dive straight into the first game of today's episode then. Oh, the squad morale, by the way, has improved too. We're up to 64%. So yeah, 64% now in our squad harmony. Of course, that was really low last season due to players wanting to leave the club and players disappointed with lack of first team football. But because we've sold a few of those players and there's been some interest dropping as well, that means that the squad harmony's now gone up, and that's a great way to start the new season. So let's just dive straight into the first game of today's episode. We are indeed playing host to Mauricio Pochettino's Spurs. Now, we lose to Spurs every single time we play them. I think we've lost to them every single time we've played them in the series so far. So I'm not exactly feeling very confident, but you never know, we could get the win. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, I'll stick with the 4-2-3-1, and these are the instructions. There are a couple of changes to our normal routine due to us playing Spurs, and that's starting on counter as opposed to control, normal tempo as opposed to much higher, and I think that's the only thing we've done in terms of the instructions, but yeah, that's what we've changed anyway, and there you go. Oh, and also low crosses as well. Low crosses. Now, normally I have it on mixed crosses almost always in all of my saves, but as Donnelly is really poor in the air and can't jump, I thought, why not whip him on the ground, as he's really quick and good at getting ahead of his marker. So low crosses as opposed to floated, mixed, and we shall see if that helps or not. Probably not, because we don't really score out many goals from crosses when Donnelly's on the pitch. So this is the team for the game. There are some absentees due to international duty. Right now, Saidi and Mumni are both away at the Olympics, and Carter Vickers is just returning. And also one injury, Harry Maguire. Oh! Yes, one more other thing to show you. Harry Maguire is leaving come the end of the season and joining Ipswich. His contract's up coming the end of the year. He wouldn't sign a new deal. So I asked Ipswich whether they would wait until the end of the season before taking Maguire, and they said yes. So Harry Maguire is going to Portman Road next season for just over £3 million, I think it is. And I'm totally fine with that, because the guy wasn't going to get a new contract. He wasn't going to sign one anyway, as he wanted to leave. And he's going to go to Portman Road for just over £3 million come the end of the year, when normally we'd lose him for nothing, because his contract was up coming the end of the season. So yeah, Harry Maguire's going to Portman Road come the end of this season, and there you go. How did I forget that? I should have known that, man, seriously. But anyway, this will be the team for the game then. Raj in goal, back for Retirement, Dimov, Keane and Fulkier. In midfield, and Dai and Obiang. Further forward, Olivier on the left, Leko on the right, and Ross Barkley making his debut as our attacking midfielder. Brian Donnelly is the lone striker, and on the bench, Will Mannion, Willie Kirkpatrick, Kyle Walker-Peters, Brian Malonaz, Burkai Ozcan, Gerard Delafeu, and Mitrovic as well. So that is the team. This is the game. Spurs' first game of the season. Not fancying our chances, expecting a loss, but hoping for the win. Come on, Hull City, let's start off with a good strong win. 10th place last season, 14th place the previous 2 years, and of course 17th back in season 1. We are making progression as a team, and whilst it is taking slower to make this team a really good one, I'm liking the direction we are heading in. I think we're making some really good business deals season after season. And again, for those that only play FIFA CM, you've got to realise that in 5 years you can take a championship side to Champions League winners. In FM it takes an awful lot longer, so please bear with this project. It's going to take a while for us to get really, really good, but we are getting better. We are getting better, and the proof is there for you based on our standings over the course of the last few years. So, first highlight of the game, and it does come to Spurs, unsurprisingly so, as Roberto Firmino finds Rafa down his left-hand side, as he gets past one, rolls it inside. Dimov is there though, and we shall get the danger clear with Leko receiving the ball. Now we do have counter on, but our players aren't really moving forward at a quick pace, so we'll slow it down and keep hold of the ball instead. I guess when you've got retained possession and short of passing on, that is to be expected, to be fair, as Donnelly sent down the right-hand side, cuts inside and shoots and hits the crossbar. So unlucky from Donnelly. This guy hits the woodwork more than any other striker I think I've ever had. Still 0-0, and that was so close to a great start to this game. I just don't want to take off retained possession and short passing though, because I do like the way we play with keeping hold of the ball. Spurs go down his left-hand side and across the middle, and Lamella's hit the post, both sides hitting the woodwork to close out this first half. Lovely little set-piece routine there, it seemed. Crossing to the middle, and the Argentine hits the woodwork, still 0-0. Can we hang on? Still tied just before the break. Lamella looks for Llorente, and Olivier is there. Don't want to get ourselves in trouble here, so we'll just launch it long, but Toby Alderweireld cuts it out. Come on, let's not surrender a goal just before half-time. And now, chance on the break, lads. Barkley to Donnelly, already hit the woodwork once, running at his man, has him on an island, takes it round him. Brian Donnelly crosses, and Leko puts it in. What work from Brian Donnelly, now wearing Abel Hernandez's number 9. Hull City 1, Spurs 0. Is this the season you guys finally love him? Is this the year you guys finally change your tune on Brian Donnelly? He's got Hernandez's number, you loved him, and this is a great way to start the season. Skins his man, whips in a great cross to the centre, and there is Jonathan Leko to make it 1-0. Excellent work by the kid, good finish by the ex-Baggies winger, and we take the lead just before the break. A great way to end the first half. Now let's not throw it away in a second, come on. Don't want to jinx things, as is my way, but I think if we hold on for this win, it'll be our first victory over Spurs in the series so far. As Leko crosses, Olivier hits the post. Oh, that could have been 2. The wingers combine in there, and Leko almost had an assist to his game as well. It's off the post from the Belgian, so close to his first goal for the club, still 1-0, but we've played very well in this one. 11 minutes to go, we are almost there, but there could be a highlight for Spurs, but no, Ross Barkley's intercept, well done, and away goes Laker down the right, but does lose to Jan Vertonghen. Come on lads, let's not throw this away, it'll be a huge result for us. Christian Eriksen to Firmino, and the Brazilian shoots, and oh, what a goal! A moment of magic from the former Liverpool and Hoffenheim man, as Firmino equalises for Spurs, 1-1. Oh, that is such a shame, but what a brilliant goal, and nothing that Raj could do about it. Eriksen gives him the ball, he's 25 yards from goal, takes one touch and just levers it into the top corner. Superb strike. Let's not throw away the point now. Well, that should do it. Final score here at the kickoff Stadium. Hull 1, Spurs 1. A very entertaining first game of the season. And to be honest, I'm going to calmly say that we've played well in this game. And we proved a lot of people wrong there by avoiding defeat. Because we always lose to Spurs. And we were 10 minutes away from claiming our first win against them all series long. And I thought we played well. Hit the woodwork twice in this game as well, lest we forget. And I thought this was a really, really solid opening day result. So our record now in opening days is 2 wins, 2 defeats, and 1 draws as well. And that's not a bad start, a very encouraging one to our 5th year at the KCOM Stadium. So, yeah, it would have been amazing how we won this game. So close to it, but unfortunately, just couldn't hold on. But we'll take the point, though. We'll take the point. We'll look at the positives. That's not a bad start to our 5th year, and we're expected to finish in the top half of the table. Well, that's a very good, encouraging, bright start to our 5th season. But that will end today's episode of the Football Manager series, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy today's episode, then please do consider leaving a like, as likes are, of course, very much appreciated, and they really help the channel out as well. We shall return after the transfer window with games against... who should we come back for games against? I want another big club to take on because I'm feeling confident now. I'll tell you what, we'll come back for games in late September and early October with a double away at the Medeski Stadium against Reading and at home to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City as well. And that guy's not in charge anymore, is he? Who is it now? Who is it now? It's Rafa Benitez. Oh, interesting. So, yeah, we'll come back for games against Reading and Rafa Benitez's Manchester City in the next episode. So thanks for watching, guys. Much love to you all. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you for the next episode in our Football Manager series very soon. Bye.